There are match days where goals grab attention, and then there are match days where control decides everything long before the scoreboard tells the story. Today's fixtures fall into that second category. These are games shaped by patience, positioning, and the ability to stay calm when the match refuses to open up easily. They are not decided by moments of chaos, but by teams who understand when to press, when to pause, and when to wait for the right second to strike. What separates winners from frustration today is not effort, it is discipline. Not speed, but structure. And not noise, but timing. Every fixture in this lineup carries its own rhythm. Some start fast and slow down. Others begin cautiously and slowly tighten like a knot. The teams that read those rhythms correctly are the ones that walk away satisfied. Stay with this breakdown all the way to the end, because each match connects to the same theme. Football rewards composure. Let's begin with a game defined by authority and balance. Aston Villa vs Salzburg. Correct score 2-0. Prediction: Aston Villa win. This match is shaped by clarity of purpose from the opening minutes. Aston Villa step onto the pitch with a clear understanding of what the game requires. They are not rushed, not reactive, and not distracted by Salzburg's early intensity. Salzburg begin aggressively. They press high, close passing lanes, and attempt to unsettle rhythm early. For the opening phase, the game feels tense and uncomfortable, with Villa forced to recycle possession and avoid unnecessary risks. But this discomfort is temporary. Villa do not panic. They slow the game down, stretch the pitch horizontally, and gradually pull Salzburg out of their compact shape. As passing lanes open, control begins to shift. The first goal arrives not through force, but through patience. It is the reward for sustained pressure and intelligent positioning. Once Villa take the lead, the tone of the match changes completely. Salzburg now have a problem to solve. They push higher, commit more players forward, and attempt to recover momentum. That decision, however, opens spaces across the pitch, spaces Villa are perfectly equipped to exploit. The second goal arrives during this phase, killing belief and reinforcing control. From that moment onward, Villa manage the game expertly. Possession is retained, tempo is slowed, defensive lines remain compact. Salzburg struggle to create meaningful chances, often being forced wide or halted before danger develops. As the clock runs down, Villa show maturity. They do not chase more goals unnecessarily. They protect their advantage, conserve energy, and close the match with authority. The final whistle confirms what the performance already showed: a composed, professional victory built on structure and patience. Nottingham Forest vs Ferencvaros. Correct score 2-0. Prediction: Nottingham Forest win. This fixture unfolds as a test of pressure versus resistance. Nottingham Forest begin the match assertively. From the first minutes, they push the tempo, advance their defensive line, and look to dominate territory. Their intent is clear: control the game early and force Ferencvaros into a reactive role. Ferencvaros respond by sitting deep, maintaining compact lines, and prioritizing defensive shape. For a period, this approach works. Forest see plenty of the ball but struggle to break through immediately. Rather than forcing risky passes, Forest remain patient. They recycle possession, switch play, and gradually wear down resistance. Each wave of attack pushes Ferencvaros deeper and deeper. The breakthrough eventually comes as a result of sustained pressure. Once the first goal is scored, the psychological balance shifts. Ferencvaros are forced to open up slightly, and that is where Forest become even more dangerous. Spaces appear between lines, and movement becomes more effective. The second goal follows as a natural consequence of this shift. With a 2-goal cushion, Forest transition into control mode. They manage possession intelligently, slow the tempo, and eliminate unnecessary risks. Ferencvaros attempt to respond, but clear chances are rare. Defensively, Forest remain disciplined and organized. The back line holds its shape, and transitions are controlled. By full time, the scoreline reflects dominance without chaos, a match won through pressure, patience, and structure. Tel Aviv vs Bologna. Correct score 0-1. Prediction: Bologna win. This match is defined by caution and fine margins. Tel Aviv approach the game with a clear defensive plan. Lines remain tight, spacing is compact, and risk is minimized. Their priority is to frustrate and deny space rather than dominate possession. Bologna understand this immediately. They do not rush the game. Instead, they circulate the ball patiently, probing for weaknesses without exposing themselves to counterattacks. The first half unfolds slowly. Chances are limited. Every forward movement feels calculated, and every defensive action matters. As the second half begins, Bologna gradually increase tempo. Passes become sharper, movement more decisive. Tel Aviv are forced to defend deeper and for longer periods. The decisive moment arrives quietly: a lapse in positioning, a brief opening, and the deadlock is broken. Once Bologna take the lead, the game changes completely. Risk is reduced, possession is protected, and defensive shape becomes the priority. Tel Aviv attempt to push forward in response, but Bologna remain organized. Clear chances are few, and pressure is managed calmly. The match closes without drama. The narrow scoreline reflects the tactical nature of the contest, a game decided by discipline, timing, and efficiency. FSCB vs Fenerbahce. Correct score 1-1. Prediction: Fenerbahce win or draw. This fixture is balanced from start to finish. Both teams enter the match aware of each other's strengths. Early on, there is caution rather than chaos, with neither side willing to overcommit. FSCB attempt to control territory, pushing forward in phases while maintaining structure. Fenerbahce respond with composure, staying compact and focusing on transitions. The opening goal shifts momentum but not dominance. FSCB grow in confidence and push higher, seeking control. That aggression, however, creates vulnerability. Fenerbahce exploit space on transition and bring the match level. At 1-1, the game becomes increasingly tactical. Every decision carries weight. Pressing is measured. Risk is calculated. The second half tightens further. Both teams search for openings, but defensive discipline limits clear chances. As time runs down, the emphasis shifts to control rather than ambition. Fenerbahce manage the match intelligently, ensuring they do not lose structure. The final whistle confirms a result that reflects balance and discipline, a draw that secures a win or draw outcome. Panathinaikos vs Roma. Correct score 0-1. Prediction: as Roma win or draw. This match unfolds as a study in patience. Panathinaikos begin confidently, controlling possession and attempting to dictate tempo. They move the ball deliberately, looking for openings through sustained pressure. As Roma remain composed, they do not chase the ball recklessly. Instead, they maintain compact lines and wait for moments to strike. The first half is tight and tense, chances are limited, and the match feels finely balanced. As Panathinaikos commit more bodies forward, space begins to appear. Roma recognize the moment and capitalize, taking the lead with a controlled finish. Once ahead, Roma shift focus. Possession becomes conservative. Defensive shape tightens. Risk is minimized. Panathinaikos push forward late, increasing pressure, but Roma manage the closing stages with experience and composure. Clear chances are limited, and the game closes without chaos. The final whistle confirms a narrow but controlled result. Roma do enough to secure a win or draw through discipline and game management. Final recap. Let's confirm everything clearly. Aston Villa vs Salzburg ends 2-0, a composed home victory. Nottingham Forest vs Ferencvaros finishes 2-0, built on sustained pressure. Tel Aviv vs Bologna closes 0-1, decided by fine margins. FSCB vs Fenerbahce ends 1-1, securing a win or draw. Panathinaikos vs Roma finishes 0-1, controlled and disciplined. These outcomes are not about guesswork. They are shaped by structure, rhythm, and the ability to read a game correctly. If you've stayed to this point, you're watching football the right way, patiently, intelligently, and with respect for the details that truly decide matches. Stay locked in, share with fellow fans, and be ready for the next set of fixtures.